Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Evening with Roxanne. Yeah, let me look. Okay, all looks good. Got a couple people in the room. Thank you all for coming. Let's give it a minute and then maybe have some other folks join in, and then we'll get rolling on tonight's idea on what's going on in reality, right? And that's what we look forward to. Hello, Christopher. Welcome. And if you are out there, say hi in the chat if you like to. And if you are watching and you enjoy, hello, Ann. Great to see you too. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. You probably have though. But if the new people that may be getting this for the first time, go ahead and check my workout. I got about 800 plus videos for you. And gives my take on reality. So, okay, good. We got some more people. Maka, hi, baby. How are you? From Argentina. Random is here. Randomly one. Random. Hello. Renato. Hello from Bulgaria. Thanks, Roxanne. You're welcome. I love it. You guys are coming from all around the world. I love it. Love it. It's good stuff. So I wanted to first start off before we get into it to hello, Athena. Announce a few things. I was doing my my Ascension classes in a group, and then I had a person that wanted to take those personally. So I'm not going to do an Ascension class as a group class starting in March or in May. I'm going to do them one-on-one now. So you spend 2 to 3 sessions with me, and we'll go over each of the schools / classes, the recognition, transcendence, vibrational tactician, and persona development. And you'll spend time with me doing that. Check out the link below. That's my Odyssey of Ascension. And you'll see Ascension classes. Sorry, spaced it. So the Ascension classes on there, they'll take place with me personally, one-on-one on Zoom. We'll spend an hour together, go over the material until we completely understand each school, and then we can advance ourselves to the next school. And then also I'm doing sessions again. If you want to do sessions, I want to work on my channeling, and I need some more feedback, and I need some more interaction, because right now the advanced classes is the only channeling I'm doing. And occasionally, of course, the private students that I have a few of those, but the channeling is where I'm getting that. Hello, Arturo. Un beso y un abrazo, Foxy Roxy. Excited to be here. Un beso y un abrazo, Foxy Roxy. I'm excited you're here too. Hello, Dave. So Ascension classes are now one-on-ones. All the details are on the Ascension class page. The sessions are an hour long like they used to be. And you can shoot the shit with me, and I can, because I'm really good at this. I'm understanding talking it out, but of course we can channel, and that's up to you 100%. And so that's under the sessions page. Oh, that's Anita. Hi, Anita. Yay, Anita came. We met today. I went to a little meetup this morning, and Anita there in the chat. Hello, Anita. Hi, hon. I'm going to type it in there. Everyone else said hi to Anita. She's first time here. She met me today at a meetup, and we shot the shit a little bit. And we had some other people there and got to know each other. So welcome. Thanks so much for joining in. So that's what's going on with that. Now, to get on to today's business. Okay. So to sum things up in my perspective of my internal work of self-discovery, the only thing that I understand reality to be is subjective now to the point of such a consistency, which means I can and I have the ability to assign things to the external. Okay. I can assign cause, I can assign effect, I can assign consequence, I can assign meaning, purpose, ideology of my separated structure. I can place that with my will, with my truth upon an idea. So then I have to realize, I have to be enough, humble enough to realize something, that what I'm doing is creating my world. In discussions with people, when you get caught up in discussions with reality, whatever the subjective is irrelevant, whatever your truth is, always know that it's nobody else's. You may have agreements, you may have comfort in numbers, but you must start taking your reality and pulling it in to this nice tiny little bubble of I am. Don't worry about being lonely. Don't worry about not having the like-minded people around you. That's just your ego trying to feed you some emotional purpose. Don't let it distract you. Look, take your world and make it small. Make it personal. Make it particular. Make it in the idea of, if I have an idea of I need a purpose. I need an intention. That's my structure, because I'm feeling empty. So I need to go outside of myself to get something so I can satisfy this urge, this emptiness, this need. So I have to go, and I have in time an idea. And in time, I can go to that place, and then it'll give me something. And then I'll be fulfilled. And that cycle continues. So if I take that outside and bring it in, then I have a different relationship with reality. Then I see what that action is in and of itself. It's a structure. It's an identity. It's the separation, the emptiness filled, and my space gets filled, my boringness, I'm bored, I'm purposeless, I don't know what to do, I have no meaning of life. Self isn't felt because it's filled in with this meaningful life. And life itself is meaning. Existence is meaning. How obtuse we are to ourselves to actually judge our gift of existence when the only other counterance to existence is non-existence. And once again, masters, existence has chosen us to exist. We are I am. I am law one. I am the idea of the God in the Bible. I am. Thou shalt have no gods before me. I have to take care of the kingdom. This is what makes everything click. Hey, Gabriel. This is everything. Yes, you're coming to LA. Awesome. I have to take care of this because this is what's creating. I have to look at every single relationship. The first thing I teach in recognition is start listening and watching every single thought that's coming out of your mind, and then observe with the observer, the awakener, the relationship to that. What does that mean? How does it feel? Do you feel irritated, frustrated, need of control, a need of desire, emotionally on high, hopeful? And look at those structures with the mastery of your awakening, and look at those things and put them up in front of you and take that and own it. Don't put it outside. Bring it home and own it, because then you can get an internal look at the reality you create through the vibrations of your expression. The mix-up of this of humanity was externalism. That's part of the journey. We assigned everything to reason. What's the reason for this? Why are we doing this? Why would I do that? I have to have an attachment to an action to create and solicit a reaction, an interpretation, an experience. Then it becomes conditioned within that experience, the limitation of that truth. And that's all I'll ever be if I use that source. That's all you'll ever be. To go beyond humanity, you must lose the capacity, the appetite, the absolute seduction of the human structure. But that's why we have to recognize and see This is my mind telling me this right now, and I feel emotional about it, and I'm upset about it, and I'm this about it, and I'm that about it. And if you have the ability to say, I am this about that, then you are observing. Then you are observing your truth, the structure that you coveted upon your journey of humanity. Awakeners are enlighteners. We are not enlightening the mirror, the people, the external. They are their own kingdom. We are on our earth. I'm going to draw something. So remember, when your journey and your understanding this earth that you want to put as a one earth, a permanent earth, or that's the only earth, stop and pull yourself back and look at the gestalt of all that is. Think of all the people you know that are not in your world right now. Where are they? Where the fuck are they? In your mind, you tell them, oh, they're at the library. They're at the movies. They're at their house. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're in their own bubble, creating their own worlds. And you're in your bubble, creating your world. They exist in your memory in the now, but they're not in your present. That's how you can relate to them, creating your now. You must see that we have so many earths, so many ideas. So trying to maintain and control a consistency of one earth, one timeline, one version of all people, it's going to keep you stifled and conditioned. And don't have the insight or ability to see beyond the conditions of humanity, to know we are on a quantum field, that we are on holodeck, and this is all vibrating light. And we can create versions of people through the versions of ourselves. We have to become more honest in ourselves. In every facet, in every choice, in every now, learn the authentic you. Remember yourself. Bring that unknown God to the surface and allow the mirror to see who you are by nature, not who you are by memory, by structure, by obligation, by image that you have to maintain or somebody expects you to. Okay? We are on so many different earths every day. We shift earths, billions of them every day. We're going through all of these versions of ourselves. You want to create a world that is in alignment with you, then you have to go to the God within. You cannot speak of false God, the God of without, the external God. That's the God of the false God of the Bible is saying. The false God is the God that doesn't know it's a God. It's the fractal. You think God's going around or angry, vengeful, needful, hopeful, spiteful? You think that's what creation is by nature? Can you imagine what a fucking tragedy is if this was the limitation of what this is about? All other entities out there, all other creatures were assholes, rapists, bigots, Good Samaritans, hopefuls, needfuls, purposefuls, game changers. They all have identities, but no one knows who the hell they are. I don't think so. I'm calling bullshit. I'm saying humans do that through separation. And you're here to awaken, not humanity. Humanity's fine because they're in their own little bubble. And they're going to have their own interpretations. And you don't know how anyone feels. You don't know what anyone thinks. You don't know what anyone interprets. That's not your business, nor can it be, because you are your own subjective truth. Everything is your truth that you translate in every now, and that becomes and creates your reality. Why would you get into anyone else's business? That's not their business. You are actually creating an idea of I'm in their business. And you're creating versions of those people that will attract and reinforce your reality of being in their business. And then you'll have a purpose and you'll have a life and you'll count and you'll matter. Because no one ever told you that you're enough without purpose. No one ever told you you're enough without a resume. Our teachers in our schooling systems and our instructors tell us we have to learn. And there is a lot to be said about education. It's good. It's training. It's education. It's productive in the idea. There's nothing wrong with it. But it is enormously, severely, absolutely outstanding limited. When you have access to all that is right here, access to every lifetime you've ever had, access to every knowledge of all that is swimming in the pool of consciousness that you are, one and all. But right now you have all these things in your head that say, no, I'm not that. I can't be that. How does that work? What am I supposed to do? Please lead me. Please instruct me. I'm not worth myself or my choices. And if I make a choice, I'm going to be afraid because I might make a mistake. And if I make a mistake, then I'll be criticized. And I don't want to feel that because I got enough of that from my teachers who judged me and said I wasn't very good. You got to break out of that cycle, folks. I have to look at everything that goes through me every day. All of my relationships to reality. All of these fears are not the objects. They're the fears themselves. Do not forget that. Do not forget that when you have a relationship and you are fearing something, then you know you're looking through a human structure that belongs to you, and that's the way you're interpreting reality. Then there was a catalyst that you interpret that resulted in a reaction of fear about someone. Gods don't walk around in fear. We're not afraid. Ever. Ever. Then you must be honest with yourself and say, I'm afraid. I'm doubting. I'm uncertain about myself. I have to see that as a structure, not a truth that lies outside of me, not an assignment. 10 years of fears that I've been transcending. And it's absolutely the 100% truth that it works. You can walk every day without fear. You have no fear that you have in your mind that motivates you to change your action and take you to a different reality, shifting yourself into a different vibration, and then changing the versions of the attractions of the people in your world, giving you that world. When this world exists over here waiting for you to choose, but you don't because you're afraid, because your mind sells you a story about the future. The mind sells you a story about responsibility. The mind is giving you all the reasons why you can't do something or you should do something. It's going on in your head, and it goes no farther than that. Okay? The bubble of reality is a circle. You're right here in the middle of the circle. Your thoughts come in, you interpret these thoughts through this vibrational veil, and you interpret that thought, experience it, and then put it right back out. And all you're doing is this for fucking ever. You're in there creating this. Did you look around lately? You see all those cars, the trees, the concrete, the sky, the ice cream, the computer, the TV, all of that. See, what that is a mirror reflecting your vibration, being translated, interpreted. And this physical reality, but it's all the same thing. It's all thought. It's all consciousness. But we get to define it. And if you think this is reality and this is, if you took out your polarity, how fucking awesome. Well, yeah. You're welcome, Holly. So how fucking awesome is this? Look at it. Take away the polarity. Have you seen how beautiful our planet is? Have you seen how gorgeous it is just to look out into space? To have a puppy dog and have puppy breath and have a cuddly cat come up and make mud patties on you. You know, and the beauty of just cruising in a car on a summer evening, and it's perfect, and you got the windows down, you got the music on. See, that's reality. We get to experience that. We get to fly over oceans. We get to move around. But then our minds tell us about this. See, that's what you got to see. You have the beauty there unconditionally, and whatever it is, it slants it. It changes it. I look at the world and I want to go and visit all these places. I want to go. But there's boundaries. There's laws. There's passports. There's rules. There's people that would as soon as put a bullet on my head because the way I look, the way I represent myself. But I wouldn't create that world. I wouldn't go to that world because, see, that's not in here as a truth. Because I wouldn't fear. I'd create a different earth where I can go to those places and I can get to those and have those experiences of unconditional, because, see, I'm not bound to one earth. I'm bound to my earth, my fucking world. I create every day with my vibration because I learned to trust And I represent each one of you can create your own world that aligns with the resonance of you. But right now you have the resonance of the horseshit in your head. You think this, well then, and I'll get that, and then I'll be happy. You carry that as a truth in you. No matter if you get your goal or your success, or you want the lottery and you want money to resolve your issues, or to get rid of this relationship and you're afraid of it, or gain a relationship and it will solve. No. Who out there has moved to get a fresh start and you're still a train wreck 3 weeks later? Because it lives within you. The kingdom that you've created through separation is the only way you're ever going to feel unless you change your kingdom. You have to make the changes. You have to recognize the belief systems in you and say, look at that. I'm full of shit. I'm full of shit. I'm angry at that. I'm needful of that. I'm afraid of that. That entity is going to take this away from me and I'm scared. I'm afraid. Good. Embrace your fears. Love them. Caress them. Become them. Learn them vibrationally. And then master them, because they bound nothing. They are not the truth that is externalized. They are the experience of your truth internalized. And the greatness, the mastery of you that covets those ideas in total ownership grows through them. And then they have no demand over you. They don't lead you to places that cause you to choose actions you regret or you don't want to do, but you claim, I had no choice. Yes, you do. You just don't recognize, because you're the only one in your kingdom. The law goes one and all are one. My advanced classes, we got Copernicus and Socrates and Slide all talking about this. And we're talking about what one and all really means. And they all say the same thing. Don't think about the mirror as individuals. Think about the mirror, your reality around you, the people in there, as reflections. And whatever they act and whatever they say, whatever they do, if you react and notice there's a tension there, then you have a dependency. And that's a recognition. You can understand it's not them. They are not the cause of my pain or my demise, or they are not in charge of my future. I create my world, but I have to be the authentic. I have to see and take down the inauthentic, the false truths that I've created. My work every week is the same. Recognize, deconstruct, learn the vibration, choose the unknown God, allow that to be expressed. Wisdom, epiphanies, understandings of reality, layer after layer. It's an ascension. It is an epic voyage. I am enlightening myself, and all of you are too, if you choose. But if you don't, if you choose to remain your human, that is not a judgment. That is not a lesser God. That is your earth that you create. Own it. Stop assigning that shit to the external. It's not the mirror, kiddo. It's you. Don't lie to the mirror. You're just lying to yourself. Don't be afraid of the truth of your inner self. Tear down realities. There will be blowback. There will be people that do not like what you do. They will run from you. They will not like you because you are not conforming to the normalcies of humanity, the expectations of what someone wants to be. You're not some weird tree-hugging hippie person going all these mantras all day either. You're not an image. You're an authentic. That's the idea. See the internal God, bring that God to the table, give it a run, give it a test drive, feel what it is to be the unknown self, and choose that and understand what you are by nature, changing the vibration of the mirror, attracting different realities, creating different versions of people. Don't worry about what version you get. Don't judge. Don't expect. Be humble. Be allowance. Be now. Surrender and understand your separation from the inside. And then you can change your world. You can. And it takes work. It takes work. It takes everyday perseverance of understanding what reality is. And only thing that's happening to you are your truths are interpreting the unconditional world that is attracted. And your conditions are your own. And if you don't start owning them, you're just going to have the same life you had. If you're having the same life and you're okay with it, no worries. You can settle, you can negotiate, you can debate, you can do whatever you want to do because no one cares, no one's in charge, no one's judging you. Don't put yourself to be a hero that you count. You don't count out here, you only count inside. Hello, Kata. There, nada. You only count inside. It's all happening here. All the distractions of the world. I'm listening to a channel today through a guy that had a call and he had a channeler on, and it was a Yael. Sean Swanson, if you guys heard of him, he's a channel of the Yael. And it was the same thing. It's like each version of reality is created by you. The co-creators are the resonant attraction to the reality. The interpretation is subjective to the singularity, all involved. Each one has its own truth, never the same truths, all subjective. Only in commonality and memory and shared belief systems do we have a commonality of, oh, we're thinking the same way. We are both going to vote this way, or we both believe in this thing. Do you guys remember what it is, the difference between a belief and a knowing? A belief needs to be defended. A belief has doubt. A belief needs to be justified. A knowing is, I know I'm God. I know I am forever. I know I am unjudgeable. I know that everything that I do, everything that I choose, everything that I experience is my journey that is on the track of forever. I know that time is a created idea. My memory tells me I'm this many years old and I've been on this earth and my name is. And my future, based on my memory, give me these perspectives and probabilities. See, I know these things. I don't believe them. Once you understand the difference between a belief and a knowing, you'll never want to have a belief again because it's flimsy. It's hollow. It's plastic. It's shakeable, crumbles. That's why it's vital for you all to reflect back to yourselves and say, you know what? If I'm going to do this awakening thing, let me commit to myself and say, I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to give myself, let's say I'm going to do a little test run here. I'll be honest and speak my truth each and every time for the next 24 hours. Okay? And make sure you're not alone. Make sure you have the mirror to reflect. And I'm going to actually not listen to my mind. I'm going to learn how to listen to my heart. And I'm not going to doubt the two. I'm not going to let my mind question my choices and try to figure out what's best, because I'm using my memory, and the memory is a past self. It's not a current self. So that means I'm going backwards into a different vibration and choosing to create my reality. Maybe that's why I cycle so much. So how do I know it's me? I don't know. And I'm afraid. Yes, be afraid. And say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and choose this unknown self, because I remember what it's like to choose this. I remember what it's like to keep doing something I don't want to do, and I keep being afraid to say something. But this time I promised to myself, I have to take a fuck it all pill, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to experience that. And then in that moment, you must make a promise to yourself, is to allow it to play out. Allow all the blowback or the reaction or interaction play it out, but do yourself this solid. Do yourself this solid, is observe yourself, observe your emotions, see the absolute tornado that starts to stir up inside of you. And isn't that fantastic to see your own truths being upended? So you, Master, the one that awakens within its own kingdom, are enlightened about the truths that create your world and have now the opportunity to change your reality, because the inside, everyone knows, changes the outside, never the other way around. We have change through laws. We have change through violence. We have change through common sense and religion. And those structures are all conditioned, and we all just move them around to different places around the world and different stories. But they're all the same thing, the relationships that lie outside of us. We externalize them as truths based upon a standard that our minds say is true, based upon humanity. But what about my world? Can I move off of these earths that don't validate? Do I need to look at these things that give me pain? Do I need to return these texts or answer this idea or read these news ideas? Do I need to do that? Or am I bound to do that? Am I creating my world when I do that? Yes. I got to be honest with myself. Can I change that? That's what you do. You make a pact with yourself. When is the last time you invested in yourself? I'm not talking about buying something or making yourself feel good by a temporary idea. I'm talking about investing in the creator that has chosen to waken up, that gifted you, the fractal, with an opportunity to ascend yourself while you're alive as a human and not dead. We all go home when we die. So that's why it doesn't matter what you do. But what about you? What do you want to feel here? It's up to you. Take the shit out of your head. But first you got to see it. And then you got to transcend it. You've got to transcend it. Ready? Virtues of transcendence. Number one is patience. Observe and discuss the thoughts that counter this virtue and have workbook examples. So we have patience, and this is from my class, and impatience. If you have patience, then you can see more. You can allow people to understand their reality without being fed immediately. You give the space for someone to speak or be, and reality to play out so it can stretch itself out, so you can be patient and look at it from an experiential, a lab investigator, lab scientist point of view, and just allow. Patience is an absolute stepping stone. It is to a beingness. And look at the counter. It's impatience. Allowance, virtue number two of transcendence. Allow the now. What's the counterance of it? Interference. Have you ever interrupted? Have you ever just got so upset in a conversation you had to say something? You have to control it. Or your mind goes, oh, no, that'll never happen because blah, blah, blah. And then you shift right off of it. You never let reality play out. You interrupted it. You ran interference on reality, showing you your truth because you're afraid to see what's there because it might not match the vibration. You don't want to feel the pain. I don't want to feel the pain either. I don't want to be pain, but I came here to get pain and I got it. And I lived it and I understand it and I am intimate with pain. But it doesn't hold me anymore. It doesn't hurt anymore. Okay? So I allow the now. Play it out. Slow down, you move too fast. You gotta make the morning last, just skipping down cobblestone. Looking for fun and feeling. I can't sing groovy. Anyways, slow down. Number three, virtue number three of transcendence is surrender, vulnerability. Okay, be defenseless. Don't defend against reality. I'm not talking about a physical attack. When you have a bullshit meter and someone's trying to do something to you, fucking knock that person on their fucking ass. Don't let anyone ever shit on your porch. Don't do it. You have the command of that That's vibration. Trust it. But surrender to the idea of your own recognition. How many years I spent being angry at everything because I got the short end of the stick. I got the parents that didn't love me that were supposed to. They liked this, and I didn't fit that. I drank my milk with my pinky up, and my dad shit his pants because he thought I was a faggot. Because I drank like that, and he couldn't handle it. Oh, my God. And I got mad at that, and I held that, and I held that. And you know what? I'm getting cancer because of that. I'm creating my own angst because of my anger, leading to an idea of having that. I don't have cancer, but I'm just saying. So number one cause is anger. It's all that things. Of course, humanity assigns it to or hereditary genetics. Fuck you. It's now your world. Don't buy into the fucking rhetoric. Understand what you're doing, master. Transcend these beliefs that you recognize. Number 4. Well, first was surrender. In surrender and vulnerability. When I recognized my anger, I had surrendered. I had to say, that's me. Go ahead. Tell me what I am. I won't react. I will hurt and I will be pain because I'm learning who I am. Let the people tell you what you are. Be that so you may understand how your truth is. The mirror is representing not the specifics, but how you feel. If you have pain, then you are holding pain as a truth. You're interpreting reality as a truth. This is your journey, unshared, a singular bubble of all that is. Encompassing all creation, attracted to create the versions of reality you see around. The sun, the moon, the stars, the earth. It's all creators going to you and say, God, we love you. Here, this is what you are. I'm your best friend. And we can learn from these things. But once you recognize you have to transcend, if you keep cycling yourself, there's no movement. There's the same version of yourself feeling the same polaristic way, journeying through life, talking about the outside until you push up daisies and take your dirt nap. And number 4. The counterance to surrender and vulnerability is intentions. Instead of surrendering to it, you intend to do something about it. Stop it. It's built in tension and intention. I don't intend to do anything. I'm choosing my now. My now tells me everything that is true to me. And if it is time to take action, I move. If it is not, I do not intend. I live the moment, and that takes work, practice, perseverance, trust, and courage. Lots and lots and lots and lots of fucking courage. Because everything in this reality is reinforced and told, prepare, 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 be better, be better, be better. No, I'm enough. I got this. I'm a God, and this is my world. Have a Coke and a smile and get the fuck out. And the last thing is ownership. Ownership. Every now is a relationship of all that is. Every item in your bubble is now and has its own relationship to your truth. You have to own the versions, the colors, everything is a version of your resonance, how it's represented. You have to own all of this as you. The minute you take something, you put it out to the mirror as a cause or a problem or assignment, then that's when you're externalizing, creating the false God outside of yourself and saying, this is what I am, and that is that. And then you have that tension, that pain, that structure, that identity, and you feel those emotions, and you feel worthiness, and I count because I'm making a difference. And you're commanding the reality to accept you and need the validation. Bullshit. That's the structure. That's the false God. We are divine nonchalance. We are effortless gods flowing through consciousness forever and attracting all of these experiences. This human journey is just one tiny little drop of consciousness in the endless sea of consciousness, the pool of consciousness. And this one just happens to be a separation one. It's a masterclass of ascension. There are billions of master classes, different ways to relate to reality, and I will visit them all. And this is my now, and this is what I must understand. So my focus is here and now. So in ownership, brutal honesty with the self, recognition of your beliefs. It's all you. It's never anything else. Own it's me. Look at the idea of the lack that you have, and that causality is a reaction to assign it. And you have to look at that assignment and own it. And even if you feel the loss and the pain and those ownerships of your anger and your brutality and your upset and your embarrassment, and you own all of your emotions, you have to understand that I am enough at that moment to journey into this separation, to get my fill of what it is to be separated. Not to be dancing on the top side of humanity, going back and forth between the polaristic points of view. That's not the journey. That's the distraction. The journey is to embrace what it is from a subjective awakening that understands and owns its reality, knowing that its feelings, its interpretations, its emotions is the beauty of its mastery, is the growth of the God, is the expansion of my kingdom. You are enough. What takes away I am enough? Purpose, desire, doing things for a reason, making external choices. Those things say I'm not enough. They say I'm not enough. I have to, I need to, I should, I could. What about in this? And it'll give me that. And I'm working time, and then I'm cycling, and I'm being a human. And that's not wrong, which is the conundrum. I've been led to understand right and wrong. I want guidance. Someone instruct me how to fucking do this. And there isn't any instructions. There's just you and your mirror. And you got to own the singularity in its own kingdom. And you can return to your throne and call your minions in, and they will act in the vibrational perfection of your truth. But you must, with humility and total surrender, look at the truths that you created from your human journey and have the courage to deconstruct them, to transcend them. And do your mastery, do your work, and become a walking God, a living God here on earth. Become a Homo Divinicus. A Homo sapien that awoken up to his divinity, create a new species within this kingdom and represent to humanity, not through preaching or force or law or violence, through the exceptional idea of worthiness, unconditional truth of I am is what is represented that gives others to explore their kingdom and say, hey, there's a lot of shit in my kingdom. I need a dustpan and a broom, and I'm getting to work. That's what we can do. Okay. It's good work, right? It's you, Master. See, when you got up this morning, you called me and said, hey, come help wake me up. And that's everyone in your world every day. You're God, and you assigned all of the other gods to say, hey, come wake me up. I'm going to go to humanity and fall asleep. Can you come wake me up? And we've been pounding and pounding with a sledgehammer trying to wake you up out of bed, and you just think it's a gnat. It's an annoyance. But now you're hearing it. You're starting to understand it. There's a resonance inside of you. You're welcome, Victoria. So do the work, Master. Don't be afraid of you. Make those hard choices, those unknown selves. Create a reality that is just so masterful, only to you. I know it's wonderful to get the outside validation. I just needed to be counted. I needed to be accepted, and I wanted that mirror to love me until I learned that I can love me and I'm enough to love me. It feels phenomenal to fall in love with yourself. Not for reason, just because I am. All right. Again, before you leave, the classes are on the website. Those are the Transcendence or the Ascension classes, and you can read all about that. There's also sessions available, and also the channeling in LA next month. It's on the 27th. And if you guys are going, if any of you, which there's people here that are coming that have already bought tickets, and I see them in the chat. If you guys can, or anyone else, share the page to let other people know on the social media that Roxanne's going to be in California and LA, and we'll have a good time. Okay. So that's all for me tonight, Masters. I love you all. Journey well, and if you need me, you know where you can reach me. I'm always here. I love you all. Journey well, Masters. Good night, everyone. Thanks all for coming. Bye.